On the defensive side, Alex Grinch had talked a little bit to the media on Tuesday as well. One of the guys he singled out was Jeremiah Cradell. We've talked about him in some of our positional previews as at the safety position as a guy that may have an opportunity to play a little bit, specifically with the losses at safety that we had with Brendan Bradley-Hiles. Trey Norwood at the nickel position had left. Trey Brown is a cornerback, but still an overall secondary group. He's a guy that said hadn't really seen a guy improve more from year one to year two in the system than Jeremiah Cradell. So I think that's good news from a safety position for Oklahoma. And then there's been a couple of position changes that were a little strange that you would see, especially this early on. But I think spring is a good spot to move guys around, see where they fit best. Justin Harrington, who is a guy who came in last year, is one of the best safeties in the country from the junior college ranks, was in a position to play a lot last year. Had that injury early on, basically as the fall camp started. He's been moved to defensive back at the cornerback position, so he's playing a little bit at corner. And then Kendall Dennis, who had played, a couple years, scout team guy, who's fairly highly recruited out of Florida, 4-star guy. He's moved over to a safety position. So I think it's really just kind of an idea for Grinch to kind of look at some of those kids and see where they fit best. We've talked about Billy Bowman a bit. He started it. He's going to the defense as of right now. I think he has the best chance to play early on, probably more so in the defense at the nickel position, more so than maybe at the offensive side of the ball and the receivers. But I think a guy that, we haven't talked about, and I think a little bit under the radar, who has had many coaches and, kind of some of the media and some of the guys that have inside information in terms of, who's playing well, who's doing all the things that they need to do. Jordan Mukes is a true freshman out of Choctaw, Oklahoma. He's not incredibly highly recruited guy, at 6'3", 6'4" kid, safety position. He's been all over the field. He's been, they had what they call a hell week a couple of weeks before spring practice started, where they put the kids through just a lot of tough drills over and over. And they said that he was one of the kids that really stood out, which is difficult for a true freshman because they, at that point, they really don't know what to expect, don't know, it's much different than, some of the drills and some of the conditioning stuff that they go through at the high school level. But he's had through some of their 7-on-7 and scrimmage type things throughout the week. He said 5 interceptions so far. So that was a kid that a lot of people thought that, might have had a chance to, be a second, third team. But, he could be if he keeps playing like this. You always see there's a couple of kids that you see play really well in the spring and then they're really never heard of in the fall. But, this could be a kid that if he keeps improving and keeps playing well at his size, and then the athletic ability I mentioned before, could have an opportunity to get into that rotation as a true freshman.
Mukes out of Choctaw, Oklahoma. And to Jason's point, outside the top 300 rankings, according to 247 Sports Composite, even though he is the 5th-rated player in the state, according to their rankings, tall guy at 6'4", 192. Jason Ray talking up Oklahoma. And as Jason alluded to previously, we've got position previews available for you. So just look them up right here. Just go to the search menu on the channel and look up Oklahoma quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers on down the line, both sides of the ball. Jason and I have run them down. Jason, appreciate you stopping by as well, of course. And again, check out Jason's work at Last Word on College Football. You see there on the banner there, you get a free Oklahoma mask if you register for free at voiceofcollegefootball.com. We've got about 35 teams available, including the Sooners, 20% off your first purchase when you get that coupon code. So just go to voiceofcollegefootball.com and register for free there.